Hey.
Welcome, one and all, to Real Debates. Here we let two huge movie fans battle it out for bragging rights supremacy. I'm your host, Walter Benaziak. Let's go ahead and introduce our debaters for today's show. Sitting to my left is a very good friend to our Real Reviews discussions. He's a big comic book fan and movie aficionado. This is his third appearance on Real Debates.
Lucky number 3.
Yep. And ladies and gentlemen, he is 1-1 right now. 1 victory, 1 defeat.
Crushing defeat.
Yeah, it ain't easy, guys. It's Mr. Bryan Porter.
Hello.
You ready to rise above 500, Porter?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Anthony, I'm coming for you.
I don't know about that, man.
I'm coming for you.
Looking to go 2-1. And sitting to my right, he is an educator, a collegiate football world champion, part-time actor, and movie enthusiast. He's definitely going to bring it today, folks. Mr. Anthony LaBanca.
How's it going, everybody?
Anthony, this
Porter?
is your first appearance?
It is. I've been trying to get on here, you know.
On Real Debates. You feel confident. Now I can take on Porter. Do you feel confident?
I do feel confident. You know, and I respect Porter as the veteran. I know he's been here. He knows all this stuff, but I'm here, man. Let's do it. Come on, man.
All right, well, it's almost time to get down to the debating, guys. But first, let's go over the rules. Yes, we have 4 topic discussion rounds that these two have prepared for. For every round, we will hear a 1-minute opening argument from each debater. After both debaters have presented their arguments, they will go back and forth on why their point of view is better on the subject. At the end of every round, I will award 3 points to the person who I believe presented the best argument. After those 4 rounds are complete, we will move on to the lightning round, where the debaters will be asked a series of movie trivia questions. Those trivia questions are worth 1 point each. The debater with the most points at the end of the game wins. Is everybody clear on these rules?
Probably I'm going to win then, so.
No, I got the rules. I got this.
Okay.
Okay. All right then. Let's debate.
Let's debate.
For real. Okay.
All right.
All right. You hear that ding? That was very loud. All right. Here we go with our new in the news round. This round features current film-related news topics. San Diego Comic-Con just passed, and one of the biggest news bits from that weekend was the second trailer for Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. This trailer is starting to turn the tide on the naysayers of that film, but a lot of people are still skeptical about the quality of this film, guys. What I want to know from you two, did this new trailer get you excited for the movie? Let's go with Anthony first. Go ahead.
Okay. For coming from a casual movie fan, I don't know how you could watch this trailer and not be at least excited for it. And I know that Snyder's taken a darker approach to his movies and stuff with the superheroes, and some people don't like that, but that's fine, I think. Especially with other stuff that DC's been pumping out. In my opinion, I watched this trailer and I was really excited for it. I think it does the name justice, no pun intended, but Batman versus Superman. I think you get a good look at the tension between the two of them. But it does a good job of not giving away too much of the plot. I think that you see, for some reason or another, Superman is doing something and buildings are getting destroyed, things are getting destroyed. Wayne Enterprises happens to be one of those buildings. Obviously, Batman's a little angry about that. So you see like the tension building up between them. You see Superman saying like, you know, do I have to answer these people? Is it my fault? Batman's like, well, you know what? You know, good guys don't stay good forever. The only way to get rid of this guy is to take him down.
All right.
You see that tension.
All right, we're going to go with 1-minute opening statement from Porter. Go ahead.
All right. I wasn't really excited for it. It raised a lot more questions than anything for me. I don't think it looks way too jam-packed with multiple plot points, so it looks like it's going to be a really, really stuffed movie, and that's just going to take away from them. Hey!
Totally meant to do that. Go on.
Yep. Looks like it's going to take away from the movie a little bit. I didn't like Wonder Woman in it at all. I have no idea why she's there, why she's fighting. She does not look like Wonder Woman. Mama Kent, like, she's got that whole line where she's like, you don't owe this world anything, and Clark kind of looks at her like, Ma. Like, that's not Mama Kent. She's not the beacon of hope that she's supposed to be. Lex Luthor's wig looks ridiculous. I don't like the way he sounds, although I love Jesse Eisenberg. The fact that they show General Zod in, like, a body bag, and the fact that there's rumors that he's going to be Doomsday really upsets me, because that's just a horrible idea. Alfred is barely older than Bruce. He looks like he's only 10 years older than Bruce, 15 max. It's like, you're supposed to be like 30 years older than Bruce.
Right, that is your 1 minute. Okay, now guys, try to tear each other down. Anthony?
Well,
why are you excited for him? Why would you want to convince him? How would you convince him?
I can see, and you make some good points, I can see why like the huge superhero comic book guys like aren't on board for this in some aspects, but I think the majority of the people that are out there that are going to go see this are like the casual fans. And I think that you're saying there's a lot of things going on with Wonder Woman. All right, you said that you don't know why she's there. Well, like, what's the point of her? I mean, I was kind of wondering that too, but from a good sense, because I'm watching the trailer and they give you just enough of Wonder Woman, and I'm like, wait, how are they going to tie her in? Like, I kind of want to see what Snyder is going to do. Hopefully it's better than, past things. But I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see what they're going to do. Again, in the trailer, you see Lex Luthor doing his scheming and plotting, whatever the heck he's going to be trying to do, probably waiting for Batman and Superman to kill each other. But from the trailer standpoint, I think it did just enough to, like, hook me in without telling me, like, how they're going to do all this. That's why I think it did, like what a trailer was meant to do. Like, I'm excited to see it. And I think this could be DC's big break that they desperately need.
I'm neutral. Go on.
Yeah, right. I think that it's not going to be a big break because they're trying to jam-pack so much stuff into one movie, establish so many characters and so many plot points and storylines that they're trying to catch up with Marvel, and they're doing it the exact opposite way that Marvel did it. And Marvel did it so methodically, so like slow. It took years to build up to the Avengers. And they did every character exactly how they should. They, introduced each character slowly and with, as close to the character as possible. Now with DC, they're throwing it all together and saying, here's a bunch of stuff, like it, and it's bad. I don't think that that's going to work out for them because I think the general masses are going to be confused on a lot of the stuff. The comic book nerds are going to be like, dude, why do you have 8 storylines in one movie? Like, I can probably name off 4 storylines that are going to be in this movie that could be separate movies themselves. You can make 4 separate movies out of all the storylines that are going to be in this movie. So it's going to be way too jam-packed. There's going to be so much going on. You're going to lose a lot of the character development because they got to go through so many characters. I think it's just going to fall flat, and I'm not excited for it. Like, they're putting way too much into it.
Not excited at all?
Not really. Oh. I'm looking at this movie like, this is going to piss me off.
Do you want it to prove you wrong, though?
I would love for it to prove me wrong.
I mean,
but I don't think it will.
Am I still going here?
Yes, go on.
Well, so, like, you mentioned, like, Marvel's doing this and that, and it's hard for both of us to not compare it to Marvel because, like, Marvel's been so great. But I think, like you said, Marvel did it so methodically and they took so much time to do this and that. But the thing that, they want to do and that we all have to remember is, like, they're not Marvel. Like, they have to do it their way. So maybe this will work. I don't know if it's going to work. I hope it works. All I'm saying is the trailer got me excited to see how they're going to do this. And like you said, there's a lot of, like, different plot points and storylines going on. Whereas you're like, I guess, uneasy about that. Like, I'm excited to see how they're gonna piece all that together. Yeah, and hopefully they don't fall on their face.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm excited for it though.
With like, they say they got all these people, like these big name people, like helping with it and doing it and all that stuff. You had Jeff Johns as like executive producer on Green Lantern, one of the best Green Lantern writers ever, and that fell on his face. So I mean, I'm really not expecting this to do too well. I mean, it's probably going to be a box office smash just because everybody wants to see it. But I just think from like a critical standpoint, I don't think it's going to do as good because they're doing too much. Keep it simple. Main storyline with a subplot. Keep it interesting and a couple of character like storylines, and branch off a little bit, but just have like the general tone of the movie. But I think they've got this point, this point, this point, this point. They're going to be going jumping around. It's going to get confusing.
Okay, we're going to go the last thoughts here. Anthony, give me one more thought. Try to be succinct. Why you're excited and why Porter's argument is not valid.
I'm excited because I think it did, what a trailer is meant to do. Hook the viewer in without revealing too much of the plot, give them what's going on. And also I think, like you said, they should focus on, one single storyline, one single thing. I mean, they tried to do that with the last Superman movie, and a lot of people didn't really like that one. I mean, so maybe like they're trying something new. Like they said, they're not Marvel. They got to do their own thing.
Okay, sure.
Oh, I think this trailer is like a kind of like a foreshadowing what's going to happen in the movie. Like there's so much going on in the trailer. There's going to be so much going on.
To do that.
There we go.
Meant to do that too.
Yeah.
Twice on Porter though. That's a sign.
I got
falling.
it, man.
He's crumbling.
Not crumbling.
Go ahead, finish with that.
Anyway, I think it's showing there's too much in the trailer. There's going to be too much in the movie. It's just not going to be succinct. It's going to be jumbled, and I don't think it's going to do too well.
Okay. All right, I'll call this one here. Man, this is really tough. You guys do make really good points, though. You guys do seriously make good points. I mean, Anthony, you're saying that reminding us that Marvel is not DC and vice versa is a good point here. I mean, I think, I'm trying to take my personal views out of it, but still, Marvel did like a great job building up to the Avengers. DC is taking a different take at it, but it's important to remember that they're not the same comic book company or the same movie brand. Porter, I think you point out a lot of issues that are in the trailer, that a lot is going on, and why is Wonder Woman in there? Batman vs. Superman already. We had one Superman movie, and now this is all coming together. Aquaman's supposed to be in the movie, all this other stuff. Man, this is really close. Honestly, you guys are like just about tied.
1.5 apiece.
1.5 apiece. No, I think I have to make a call on this. All right, I'll say that this is by this much. I'll give it to Anthony by this much because he did a better job of explaining why he's excited for it. What's bringing to the table. Porter, you were great. You were great on this one. I just think
Sure.
I just think
Beginner's
you
luck.
needed to bring why you're not excited for it. You did point out a lot of good reasons, but I think Anthony did a better job of saying why he is excited. I'm
All right, well,
okay.
Okay.
Personal opinions aside, Anthony will get the 3 points for that.
3
Okay,
points.
hey.
Don't get too comfy there, buddy.
I'm not. Hey, beginner's luck, man. I'm just.
That's probably what it is.
I'm just here.
He
really
gave you
close.
the sympathy card.
Sorry.
I'm just here.
I'm sorry. I apologize. My personal views we'll talk about later. But anyway,
Well, don't apologize for greatness, man. Come on.
Oh,
moving on
right.
to the next round. It's time for round 2. This is our best/worst of round. I pick an actor or director, and you debaters pick and defend what their best or worst film is. Today we are asking, what is the best movie directed by Steven Spielberg? We're going to go with Porter first this time. Go ahead for your 1 minute open.
Okay, with a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, the best Spielberg movie is definitely Saving Private Ryan. That movie has everything. One of the best and critically acclaimed war movies of our time. The opening scene on the beaches of Normandy and D-Day is one of the most iconic wartime scenes ever. Everybody knows that scene. It's one of Spielberg's best film because it was brilliantly directed. He even won best director for it. It also had 11 total Oscar nods, which is pretty big feat for any movie. An amazing cast with fantastic performances all around, and it had a great amount of character development for each character, which was a lot of characters. So to be able to pull that off in one movie is a feat in and of itself. And also, there were so many memorable lines from the movie and so many memorable characters that I just think it flowed really well as a war epic, and everybody could love that movie.
Okay. Anthony, go ahead.
Okay. This one was tough for me because I was about this close from picking Saving Private Ryan. I think Saving Private Ryan is an awesome movie, but I'm going with Minority Report for one key reason here, all right? Minority Report, it takes the viewer talks about a real world issues in a very Spielberg, futuristic, cool way, okay? What I'm talking about is like politics, okay? People love to debate politics. You have Republicans, Democrats. People love to debate. One thing they're always debating about is freedom versus security, all right? There's a whole slew of stuff I could talk about this because this is actually like, I use this movie in my classroom for my freedom versus security unit. Minority Report provides a very possible, very scary look at a world with too much security. How much control do you want to give your government? I love Saving Private Ryan. Loved Schindler's List. Loved Abe. Just a couple years ago. But that's not like that cool futuristic like Spielberg type stuff. And then on the flip side, like Jurassic Park, Hook, that kind of stuff is cool, but you're not really going to see that in real life.
Okay, that's over 1 minute. Now try to tear each other down here. Why is Saving Private Ryan better than Minority Report, Porter?
Well, see, Minority Report is pretty much a what could be, what could happen, this and that. it's not really rooted in complete reality. Whereas Saving Private Ryan, it is what happened, and it was so beautifully and well told on screen. Like I guarantee you, there could be I could ask a lot of veterans, and they would probably say that this movie showed what it was like to be a soldier and the hardships and how it was psychologically to deal with going to war and fighting the Germans and everything, you know. And it showed a very human level of how war affects like man. And I think that with the way that these characters progress through the story, you got to see them break down. You know, from the beginning of the movie and how they're all excited, they're ready to go, and to the end of the movie, they're tired, they want to go home, they don't know why they're doing this. They, you know, they're losing faith in the upper, you know, in the upper management or whatever, and like, but it's just the general tone of the movie is, we got to get this guy home because his mom's already lost all of his other brothers. We got to find some joy in this horrible war, and we got to be able to give that to the mother of these men who made these ultimate sacrifice. And I think that really like hits home for everybody. You know, losing your family members. That's anybody touches that. You know.
I think we all agree on that. But why is Minority Report a better film, though, than Saving Private Ryan?
See, this is tough. I love all your points. They're great points because I love that movie. But like you said, Saving Private Ryan is all about reality. Minority Report is about what could be. But, you know, as the years go on, like that what could be coming like really soon. I mean, it's all these things that we talk about in my class. We have like a whole freedom versus security debate after we watch all this stuff. You know, how much control do you want to give the government? And you know, there's issues like now that aren't related to the movie, so I'm just going to keep it with the movie. But a perfect example is like the spider scanner scene. Like, you know, pre-crime's just like, you know, attention, this building, we're sending scanners in, and they come in and they just buzz your eye because they're looking for somebody. Fourth Amendment, anybody? Anybody? Searches and seizures? I mean, that's, you know, it's really cool to have all that technology to prevent like murder and prevent crimes and stuff, but at what cost? You know, do you really want to sacrifice your freedoms for, you know, the sake of arresting people for crimes they may not have committed yet? And again, I'm taking into consideration that, you know, none of this stuff is real yet, or is any of this technology going to be real? I don't know. But the bigger picture that I try to get people to see, aka the little freshman, is that you know this is what could happen. Like, you need to pay attention to who, you know, what side you're on. You need to pay attention to who you want in charge of your country, because, you know, they may think that this is good for the betterment of people because they're taking all these criminals, but, you know, at the cost of your freedom. And obviously there's other agendas involved, like Lamar at the end, you see he's got all his little dirty secrets and stuff, and he's hiding everything.
Spoilers.
Sorry. He's hiding everything at the end. So that also, you know, it makes the viewer, I almost said reader, makes the viewer take into consideration, you know, who you elect to be in charge of you. You know, you got to make sure, you know, who do you want to trust. It kind of makes people critically think. It could open up that whole debate that's been going on since the 1770s, freedom versus security, you could argue. Right. I mean, people what do politicians argue about now? It's all, that's the real world aspect I'm looking at.
Okay, we gotta go into final points here, trying to keep this moving along. Go ahead.
Okay, I saw Minority Report. I liked it, thought it was good, didn't stick with me. You know, I can't remember any lines from the movie, can't remember too much about the movie. Saving Private Ryan, the last line Tom Hanks had, he says, "James, earn it, earn this, earn it." And then James is an old man standing at Tom Hanks' grave, asking his wife, "Tell me I've led a good life. Tell me I'm a good man." That gives me goosebumps. Like, you can't tell, I got goosebumps just saying it. Like, that line has stuck with me since the moment I saw it. And that shows how good of a movie it is. For 3 lines to stick with you so profoundly, that shows that it is such an amazing movie, and it just transcends time.
Okay, Anthony, really quick, last point.
Okay, it does. You know, I think it does, and I just think Minority Report is better, in my opinion, because it transcends time and everything in a different sense. Like, you know, Saving Private Ryan is reality. Minority Report is what could be. Well, you know, the future, educating the kids, what could be. I want my students to, you know, not just blow off and watch a movie, but watch this and put your thinking critically caps on and say, like, okay, how, you know, freedom versus security. How much do we want freedom, or do we want the government to be in charge of everything?
Okay, that was a really, really good debate, guys. I think one of the best ones we've ever had was that one there. Really well prepared. I love both the angles you guys came at it. Porter, you're talking about how emotional that movie is and how it relates to so many veterans and how realistic it is and everything. And you also made a great point about how you think Minority Report didn't really stick with you. While the themes maybe have been good, Minority Report didn't really stick with you personally. Anthony, awesome points on using it for teaching, how it can be related to what you're talking about with how you relate it to whatever you were saying about freedom versus security, like the like the laws and everything like that are coming up, and using it to teach young kids is great. I think that, once again, great debate. I'm going to give this one to Porter because I think he did a little bit better job of tearing it down. You even admitted you love Saving Private Ryan, but I think you need to do a little bit better job of saying why Minority Report is better than Saving Private Ryan. And you came out with a really good point of saying how you have to be invested in it emotionally. And Anthony, you said that all these things are great for teaching kids, but were you really emotionally invested in it as much? In the debate, I didn't hear it as much. Okay. So, but yeah, I think that was the best debate we've ever had. That was awesome. Thank you. That's why I wanted to do this show. All right. Great job, guys. We're tied at 3-3 going into round 3. Here we go. This is our TV round. Topics here are related to television shows. This, I think, is a very important question. What is the most influential cartoon show of the last 20 years? Keep in mind, the debut episode had to be have taken place in or after 1995. So we're going to go with Anthony first. Go ahead. Okay, so it's hard, like the show or not, it's hard to argue against Family Guy for this one. I know Porter's going to be mad because he wanted to pick this too. But, it's hard to argue against Family Guy. Wherever you look, Family Guy it's everywhere. It's withstood the test of time. It actually survived a hiatus in 2004. They weren't even showing it. Then it came back in 2005, and it's still going strong. It's won 3 Primetime Emmy Awards. It was nominated for Outstanding Comedy Series in 2009. It didn't get it, but that was the first time an animated series was even nominated for it since like the Flintstones in the 60s. So I mean, that's some pretty high caliber stuff there. And then going along with like just today, again, like it or not, Family Guy is everywhere. T-shirts, slogans, memes, video games. You can't forget about the Ted movies have kind of like spawned from that. And McFarlane has stated like he wants to make a feature-length Family Guy film, which I'm excited to see. Okay, wrapping it up. Go ahead, Porter.
All right, I'm gonna go with Pokemon, the animated series. Back when I was like, I don't know, 9, it came out. That was one of the biggest things in my entire life for like 4 years. Everybody I knew was into Pokemon. Everybody watched the TV show. Everybody played the video games and the card game. It has spawned 17 movies, multiple video games. It's a total of 18 seasons. This is awesome. It has spawned similar TV shows of that nature, Digimon and Yu-Gi-Oh! It transcends countries. It's big in Japan and in the United States. It has invaded our lives so completely. I had games. I had card games, video games. You read the books, you watched the TV show, you went to the movies to see them. You had, like you go to Burger King, you got the little gold-plated cards, Mewtwo and like Jigglypuff and all those. You got them in a little Pokeball. This thing was everywhere. Everywhere you look for like the first 5 years of it, Pokemon, 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 Pokemon. That I think has hit. I think it's hit the society a lot harder than Family Guy has. Okay. Okay, Anthony, why is Family Guy, why do you think it's more influential on culture than Pokemon? You got to tear down Pokemon here. Okay, couple things about the whole, Digimon was before Pokemon, I'm pretty sure. I thought. I didn't watch Digimon, but... I'd have to fact check that, I'm not sure. We'll fact check it, I don't know. But one... Almost. Oh, there it goes! Yay! We're going to have no posters for the end. Land of the Dead, it's still there. We got one right here, Land of the Dead. It's going. Go ahead. Another thing you said, like, that stuck with me, like you said for the first 5 years of Pokemon, like it was like the biggest thing ever, which it was. But I think, how popular is Pokemon now? Not nearly as popular as it was in that first 5 years. I think Family Guy is still going strong. Like everywhere you look, I'm saying Family Guy is everywhere. Pokemon was the thing for the first 5 years, but I think Family Guy has exceeded that exponentially, just because like that crude humor, that style. Again, love it or hate it if you don't like the crude humor in Family Guy, but
it's in this country to stay. Like there's so many jokes and memes. You see T-shirts everywhere and like boxers and things for your pets, Pez dispensers. There's all kinds of things that I think have transcended Pokemon. Now Pokemon did good with all the video games and the card games, but you know Family Guy also had the Cleveland Show. They had like a straight to DVD thing for Stewie, like soundtracks and all that kind of stuff I was looking up. The Ted movies are also Seth MacFarlane, and that's in that style. How many other, you know, shows have copied Family Guy's style? The one that I was trying to think of in the car, Archer, thanks to that kid over there. Just shows like that, kind of copying that crude sense of humor. And I think that's just, it's been around longer. It's kind of done it longer and better than Pokemon has.
Okay.
You say something about TV show spinoffs, the Cleveland Show, and people have copied it or whatever. I mean, this has like 5 or 6 separate iterations of the story, like different storylines. You got Pokemon, the regular one, and then there's like 5 or 6 other ones that have spawned from that. And also, it's got 17 movies. 17 movies. How many movies does Family Guy have? I mean, this has 17 movies over the last 20, or what is it, like 15, 16 years. It's spawned 17 total movies. It's got 18 seasons, and it might not have been as popular in the last 5 or after 5 years for us. That's because we got older. It's still growing strong. This is a $35 billion industry with all of Pokemon together, all of the video games, TV shows, and all that stuff. It is a $35 billion industry, and I'm fairly certain.
Where'd you get that number from?
What do you mean?
The $35 billion industry.
I got it online.
Okay.
Yeah. I just didn't have it written down.
Okay.
I trust you.
But it's a 35, you
Wow.
can fact check it. It's a
I
$35 billion industry, and I'm fairly certain that Family Guy, not quite there. So I just think that, you know, yeah, it might not have been as popular after the first 5 years that we started doing it, but it's still popular now because it just had a movie that grossed, in 2014, it had a movie that grossed as a total, it grossed $3 billion in 2014 as a complete company, or a complete line. Pokemon.
Okay, last arguments. Give me just 20 seconds. Got to hurry this up.
Okay. You talked about how, you know, in the first 5 years for us, but, you know, I mean, I don't see it. The movies, yeah, they're still making these movies, but they're not like big theatrical releases like they used to be. And I think the big thing for Family Guy for me is that if we just continue this for a while, I think Family Guy is going to keep going up and Pokemon's going to, you know, kind of stay where it's at.
Okay.
That's what's putting
Well,
I think Family Guy is going to be continue to
Around
go.
for a while. Okay, go ahead.
It may not be
20
as big
seconds.
here with the theatrical releases, but the thing about that is it may not be big here for a little while. It's still big in Japan. You know, it can transcend countries. So it's still going to be so big and so popular that even if it's not big here, it's going to be popular in Japan. And I don't think that Family Guy has the pull to actually go to other countries and be big over there too. You know, I think that this one is here to stay in multiple countries.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to call this one right now. That was awesome. Great points. I love that you pointed out like how many awards it's won, how many the numbers there were great, that you pulled out 17 movies, and its impact on multicultural things. I'm going to give this one to Porter and Pokemon. I think that Pokemon has been around for longer, obviously. Family Guy is still very popular and everything, but it has a lot of detractors where I think kids like are obviously still, you know, every
Pokemon's a good
generation. So I think Pokemon takes it there. But Anthony, great points there.
Pokemon
So
is
Porter takes
I
the
do
lead.
Like Family Guy. I was going to do it.
I was thinking about
Really close there. Okay, so right now it is 6-3 Porter as we go into our final topic round. You guys ready for this here?
All right, let's do this.
This is our pitch round, all right? Here our debaters create a story for a certain scenario. Today's scenario, Hugh Jackman is finally hanging up the claws as Wolverine very soon, guys. It's a sad day for all us nerds. I want both of you to pitch me an idea on how you would end his run as Wolverine. How would you have old Hugh hang it up in a movie? So we're going to start with Porter first this time. Go ahead.
Okay, if you want to send off Hugh Jackman in style, you want to give him the best send-off that you can. He is the quintessential Wolverine. He's been our Wolverine for the past 15 years, so the only way to do justice for his departure is the Death of Wolverine storyline that just came out last year. It is a fantastic storyline.
It's a comic book.
Yeah, comic book, and it is a fantastic comic book. It deals with him losing his healing ability, the fact that every time he pops his claws, it slowly poisons him from having the foreign metal and the popping of his claws breaking his skin. There's There's a bounty on his head, so he lost his healing factor, and there's hundreds of assassins trying to kill him, and he's doing what he does best, and what he does best isn't very nice.
Right. That was pretty cool. Anthony, go ahead.
Okay. Coming from the casual comic book fan, I think a great way to end the whole Wolverine storyline. I don't want Wolverine to die. I think a lot of people don't want him to die. I don't think that would go over well. It may for some people, I don't know. But I think at the end of Origins, you see Victor is all like, or Wolverine saying, we're brothers, we can just, stay away from each other, where Victor's like, no, exactly, we're brothers, it can never be done. I'm always going to be coming after you, whatever. Like you said, there's hundreds of people coming after him, including Victor. And, they didn't really, after that, then they did a couple, they did the Wolverine and some other spin-offs. But I think, like, to tie that up, I think they should make some kind of film where, Victor's coming back after him, and, Marvel will do what they do with alluding to other Marvel movies or foreshadowing this and that, all culminating in one, like, awesome epic battle between Victor and Logan. That's what I'm thinking would be cool.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, well, the cool thing about this one is that, like, he's running around, nobody can find a cure and on why this is happening to him, some strange virus, and they can't fix it. And, it's got a lot of awesome characters throughout the storyline. It's got Kitty Pryde. It's got Viper, one of his arch nemesis. It's got his main arch nemesis, Sabretooth, in it. It's got Lady Deathstrike. It's got Ogun, and it's got Dr. Cornelius, the original doctor that gave him the adamantium. So the fact that you're bringing all these characters together in culmination in his last movie would be a great send-off. And the fact that you said you don't want, everybody doesn't want him to die. You don't want to see Wolverine die. The fact that he can't die has always been like a gimmick. Like, well, he's Wolverine. He's not going to die. Guess what? He's dying. What? Mind blown. Mind blown. No. That would be a perfect send-off for him. Nobody can do Wolverine like Hugh Jackman can. And I would say if you're going to kill off Wolverine, it's going to be his last movie. That's his last movie. No more Wolverine in cinema.
But what if it's not, is what I'm saying. So, like I said, a lot of people don't want Wolverine to die. I don't want Wolverine to die. And like you said, like it would just be mind blown, like in a bad way, I think, though. And again, if they try to tie in, this may never happen, but I'm saying, what if they try to tie in, X-Men to the other Marvel movies with Avengers, with whatever, I don't know. If X-Men, wow, if Wolverine is going to be dead, like, how's that going to work? Is anyone going to be able to do it like Hugh Jackman did? Probably not, but I mean, look at how the world is right now. I don't think this is going to be the last, Wolverine's going to keep going after Hugh Jackman. That's why I think if they kill him off, I don't know how they're going to have to go back and do more prequels or more like spin-off series and all that stuff, and I'm sick of all that, especially with the X-Men series. I think it'd be better if, like I said, instead of the death of Wolverine, the storyline with his half-brother, where he's coming after him, and, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong because I don't read all the comics, but I think there is somewhere down the line some big battle between Victor and Logan, and I think that would be really cool to see on the big screen, not just the casual fans like myself, but for the comic book aficionados.
Okay. Well, I mean, you said something about like spin-offs and having them coming back. Hugh Jackman isn't coming back, so you'd have to recast him anyway. You're going to have to get a new Wolverine anyway, even if you want him to come back if he doesn't die in the movies. So for the fact that he's going to die off, it doesn't really matter for future projects because they're going to recast him anyway because Hugh Jackman isn't coming back. So you might as well go full circle with Hugh Jackman. You saw him in the X-Men movies. You saw him in the middle point of his life. You saw him in the origin movie. You saw how he began. Let's see how he dies. So we have a full circle genesis for Wolverine, and I think that would be a great send-off to someone who's played this character for 15 plus years.
But then you want him to like reboot it, restart it, or
it doesn't matter because if they have any other movies, they're going to have to recast Wolverine because Hugh Jackman's not coming back. He said that's it, no more Wolverine for him. He's hanging up the claws. They're gonna have to do it anyway. Might as well go out with a bang.
Okay, 10 seconds. We gotta wrap this up here.
I just think they are gonna have to recast him, but I think if they don't kill him off, then though it may not be really cool at first, they don't have to worry about like restarting everything with a new actor. I think if they're going to try to tie, like how Marvel ties everything in together, I think it'd be better if he's still breathing.
You can't tie everything from the previous movies back to the new ones with a new actor. You're going to have to start from scratch with a new actor. I've never seen a movie where they changed the actor but kept the original storylines with him.
Okay, we're going to have to wrap this one up. I'd say, okay, I'll start off by saying this. I don't think anybody wants to see Hugh Jackman die, you know. I mean, you know, he's been, like you've been saying, he's been playing for 15 plus years now, been playing Wolverine. I think that would be great for like a Victor as Sabretooth, or was trying to be Sabretooth in X-Men Origins Wolverine, I think. Or a form of him.
Yeah.
So like seeing that final battle would be cool because we haven't seen a version of Sabretooth since X-Men Origins, you know.
That's what I'm looking for, that epic.
For an epic fight. But I'd say just by like a cinematic event that would draw people in and give a big send-off, I think I'm going to go with Porter on this one. Because Wolverine dying,
can't die.
But no matter what, Wolverine dying would be like draw people in. Like that's a big event. Like I want to see Wolverine die. How does he die? I think that would probably be a little bit of a send-off.
I don't want to see.
I'll be there
so I
for
do
you.
think there's some flaws in your presentation, but I think that I would take that over just a final battle with Victor. So
That would be cool.
he'll get 3 more points there, and you have.
See, this is where the casual fan would not. I think that's awesome for you guys, but for the casual fans, like, why do I want to see Wolverine die? What is this?
I understand what you
But
mean.
with Wolverine,
it
there
makes
is no
sense.
happy ending.
It makes
There is
sense.
no happy ending.
Right,
with
and
Wolverine.
he's kind of a tragic character. That's the whole point. Okay, Porter, you are now in the lead with 9. Anthony, you have 3, but fear not, Anthony.
Lightning round.
Fear not, because we're going to the lightning round. Yeah! Feel that lightning? Yeah, it just flashed on the screen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right there.
felt it. Yeah, well, it's everywhere. Okay, here the debaters will be asked a series of movie trivia questions worth 1 point each. Each of you will individually have 2 minutes to answer as many of the 15 questions we have prepared for you as possible. If you don't know an answer, you can pass at any time, but please note you cannot go back around to a question you passed on. So once you passed on a question, you can't be asked it again. All right, let's go. Anthony, I believe you're first this time.
Yes.
Okay, and we'll get your questions out here. Can't see these, can you?
Stopwatch.
Yeah, I got it over here. 2 minutes here.
Let's do it.
Okay, are you ready?
I think so. All right.
Okay, and time begins now. Robert De Niro won an Oscar playing a boxer in what 1980 movie?
Raging Bull.
Correct. What 6-word phrase has achieved cult status after being uttered in every Star Wars film?
And the Force be with you.
Correct. What is the nickname of Rocky Balboa's protege, Tommy Gunn, in Rocky V?
Tommy the Machine Gun.
Correct. In the 1993 film Groundhog Day, Bill Murray wakes up to what song every day?
Pass.
What 11-year-old boy played the title role in the original 2000 film Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone?
Daniel Radcliffe.
Correct. Name any of the Three Musketeers.
Pass.
What 1992 film did Clint Eastwood win the Academy Award for Best Director for?
Pass.
What documentarian is famous for directing the films Bowling for Columbine, Sicko, and Fahrenheit 9/11?
Ray Bradbury.
Much more. And Back to the Future Part 2, what years do Gray Sports Almanac reveal the results of every sporting event to?
Wait, repeat the question.
In Back to the Future Part 2, what years do Gray Sports Almanac reveal the results of every sporting event to?
Pass.
Who played the Mad Hatter in 2010's Alice in Wonderland?
Johnny Depp.
Correct. In what 1992 Quentin Tarantino crime movie contains the name of a water vessel in the title?
Pass.
Who played Mr. Freeze in 1997's Batman and Robin?
Schwarzenegger.
Correct. What was the first film Daniel Craig starred as James Bond in?
Casino Royale.
Correct. Tom Hanks won the Academy Award for Best Actor for his role in what 1993 film? No, that's Philadelphia. What 1991 film based on a work of fantasy literature starred Dustin Hoffman, Robin Williams, and Julia Roberts?
Rain Man.
Correct. That's Hook. Hook is the correct answer. That's all. That's all of them. That's 2 minutes. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Anthony,
Sorry about making
I
me
would have
cut.
had to sweep it, man.
you had 10. So Porter, you just need 2 correct answers here. All right,
Two
we're
correct
still rolling.
answers,
Get
huh?
2 correct answers.
Still rolling, aren't we? Okay. Here we go. Porter, you just need 2 correct answers.
2 correct answers, all right.
Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
And your time starts now. What is the title of the 1996 movie about the Salem witch trials?
Pass.
What Academy Award-winning Best Picture from 2002 had the name of a city as its title?
Pass.
What holiday movie from 2004 was a story about a magical train headed to the North Pole and Santa Claus's home.
Polar Express.
Correct.
Oh, hey now.
What was
All
the
right.
name of the famous sword King Arthur holds in A King in King Arthur's Court?
Excalibur.
That's correct. Porter wins it by God. Porter wins
It had to be that close.
it. Yeah.
Well, it could have been any question. I still would have beat you.
Guys, seriously, this is like one of the best debates I think we've ever had. Was the Saving Private Ryan versus Minority Report, and even Family Guy versus Pokemon.
Yeah,
Great
those
job.
were great. No, I love them. I thought they were great.
I'm just gonna say you're welcome now because I
For
blew
what?
that on purpose.
You blew that on purpose?
I wanted you to get your confidence up because you're dangerous territory there at 500. You know, I want you to get above 500 so next time we can go for real.
Really battle it
Go
out.
for
huh?
real. This is
Oh,
great
okay.
for
You're
Well,
welcome.
that rematch, I'm going to bring
welcome.
it even harder. You're in for a treat.
Okay, everybody. Well,
warming
I'd
up.
like to thank both of you guys for coming on the show.
This was fun.
Yeah, thanks a lot for
I
coming
liked it a
on.
lot, thank
Porter,
you.
you are 2-1. Anthony, you're 1-1, but you did great. Like, seriously.
Yeah, I was
Congratulations.
super nervous on a lot of your debates. Like,
man.
it could have gone both ways. So
Yeah, thanks for coming, and we'll have you guys back on the show very soon.
It was fun. Loved
Everybody
it.
who's watching, be on the lookout for more real debates and episodes of Real Reviews in the coming weeks. Be sure to like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Remember, if it's not debated here, it just isn't real. Until next time, keep your great debate alive.